I thought that was me. I was like, no.
Good afternoon and welcome to Ole Talk United on the United Hour. I am President Chad, and in the house with me we got the man Greg B. We got
Good
the
evening,
rep,
good evening, good evening, good
and we
afternoon.
got the Bajan up there in Canada, the man Big Phil. Everybody, happy Easter to all of you gentlemen and to everybody who is tuning in.
Yeah.
What's in my cup stays in my cup. Don't ask, and you won't be told any lies.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
So, gentlemen, how we doing? How we doing? I mean,
Relax.
we actually had a win yesterday. You know, though I know a lot of us kind of give up on the season already, so it really mightn't matter to many.
It's a very kind of polarizing situation when if you're being very honest, because it's like when you looked at the last few results that we've had, a lot of us saying, all right, top four is gone. Next thing you know, Arsenal
Then
drop
Arsenal
points.
start doing Arsenal things.
And then Spurs do their usual Spurs cue the Spursy behavior. And United win their game yesterday, mind you, after some shambolic defensive performances.
Again.
And Ronaldo again to the rescue. Another hat trick. And he
That's
scores
good,
a
man.
free kick this time.
I know, right? Like when I did that.
It was like 2 years ago.
It's not just United. United can't be the only club to be bad, you know. Tim Krul had to, other people had to be bad as well. We can't be the only one that bad.
Let me be very clear.
To men like Shabaka, Alex, Mark Lewis, Nigel, Martin, Philip, and Jeffrey all in the house early today. Early o'clock today.
Gentlemen, I hope you have your cups there because we have some drinking to do and we have some talking to do.
God, boy, Jeffrey jump out and he says some insane easy problem in reference to Ronaldo. I didn't want to start off talking about this. I wanted to talk about it a little later. But as Jeffrey jump out, Ronaldo may not be the problem. But with the new manager, Ten Hag, I don't think he's the solution. What say you, gentlemen, on the topic?
Finesse. If I broke down my business, that's what I say, man. Sunday service.
You got a gas stretcher to take out this gentleman. He wasn't bad too long.
The crane fix. The crane fix, Chad. The crane fix.
To answer that question by Percy, boy, I feel we should just let him ride out the contract and then let him ride out.
Ride out the contract means keep him for next season.
Yeah.
And what if Ten Hag is looking to build something and he do really want any holding ons? Would you begrudge Ten Hag for saying, Ronaldo is not part of my plan?
No, actually, because he was in the real flow of things. He wasn't in the plans in the first place. Really and truly, I mean, I vexed the man come back and he causing it. But to say like if, dear God, I need Ronaldo in my squad, I wasn't saying that.
I mean, I don't even think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was saying that at first before the season started.
That was showing you, Greg. Like that's what's showing you. Like
let me just to give my 2 cents on this whole thing. The Cristiano Ronaldo saga is a bit of a double-edged sword. Because one, you look at it, and with Ten Hag coming in, he's the kind of person he likes to develop the talent that he has. And he also likes to bring young, up-and-coming players to suit a system that he plays. So that's one thing. On the other hand, I mean, Ronaldo's established. He's a United legend in most people's eyes. The greatest football player of all time, the most. And for Ten Hag to jump out and say, you know what, yeah, you're not in my plans, you could go ahead. A lot of people will probably look at that, especially, somebody with the social media accounts that love to say anything for clout. Will jump out themselves and say, oh, Ten Hag is a madman. What are you going to get rid of Ronaldo for? And all of a sudden, you see Ten Hag out, start a trend for some godforsaken reason.
We don't stick.
Yeah, of course. I mean, football fans, especially on Twitter, are the most fickle bunch of individuals that I've ever met in my life. And I try my best to stay away from it, but it's like I get most of my information sources from there, along with other places. But at the same time, it's like, bro, what are y'all doing? This is not healthy.
Until what's his name? Tesla,
Tesla.
the owner of Tesla.
Elon Musk.
Musk.
Elon Musk.
Yeah, until Elon Musk take over Twitter or start his new social media platform to compete with Twitter, I am not going to be on Twitter. But that is why I phrase the question that way, because I don't think it's a straightforward question of Ten Hag don't want Ronaldo.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a matter of what is the vision you're coming to Manchester to do, and if you're looking to build something, would it be better? Would it serve the club better in the long run to bring in an Anthony, or even to promote a Hugo, or you know what I mean,
Or Charlie McNeil.
or bring back an Ahmad or a Palestra and give them a chance, a proper chance, than to play Ronaldo? You know, we had to ask ourselves this question. It's not a matter of wanting to get rid of Ronaldo as much as what are Ten Hag's plans for the future. We don't know. And I think Ten Hag should be given the room and the flexibility to put his vision out there. You
At
know,
the,
we can't take support
at
the
the end of the
manager
day,
only when is what we like.
at the,
I
at, the,
personally,
know?
at the end of the day, it's a conversation that Ten Hag and Ronaldo must sit down in a room by themselves and have a conversation about. Right? They gotta be like, you know what? This is where I am at in my career as a football player. Ten Hag has to be, you know what? This is my vision for the club, right? And then they have to find some sort of common ground or overlapping agreement, right? Where they can say, okay, because the definition of a negotiation is both parties come to an agreement, but they're not satisfied with the terms, right? So Ten Hag will have to say, you know what? Maybe I can start Ronaldo. This is hypothetically speaking. Ronaldo start the first game and then bench the next 2 or 3 games to give other youngsters a chance. Then he comes on and plays FA Cup and Carabao Cups games as a starter, right? Those are the type of conversation that Ten Hag and Ronaldo must have, not only in the summer, but during the course of the 2022-2023 campaign, right? Because Ronaldo is not 23 anymore. He's 37, right?
it's going to be a
So,
very hard compromise if we're gonna be very honest, because you look at the kind of name and reputation that Ronaldo carries. Like Phil said, that conversation is definitely gonna need to be had to understand. All right, is there a way that we can probably meet each other halfway? You could still be a part of the team, but I still have other things going forward that I want to do that may not necessarily include you playing regularly. So it's really a question of how they meet each other without kind of stepping on each other's corns. Easier
No,
said than done.
but Greg and Phil, like to take Ronaldo's side in things and the brand of Ronaldo and the aesthetic of Ronaldo and the business of Ronaldo, for a manager to tell you, well, yeah, you're really good, your numbers, your game time gonna drop. For who? Like, who are the names that could fill that void? That could say that, okay, you're taking a gamble on these players rather than you know what I could bring.
now here's the thing, right? If we don't go for a striker, but we go for goal scoring players, I'd rather that. If you know what I
Okay,
mean. So we
okay.
already got Bruno Fernandes, who's one of our main goal scoring players, right? Let's say he brings in the likes of Anthony, right? Let's say he brings in the likes of who else? Ruben Neves, right? That's another goal
Mm,
scoring player, right?
mm.
Let's say after 20 games, we can't tell who the top goal scorer in Man United is. We can tell that at least 5 or 6 players have 10 goals,
Okay,
right? I can
okay.
take that instead of one player having 30 goals, and then the next closest person to him has like 5 or 7 goals, right? If our, let's say, 30 goals can be divided up amongst like 3 or 4 players and we're top four, I can take that,
That
right?
is more of a practical approach, to be honest, because at least it takes the responsibility of putting bringing goals in the team off of one particular player. Let's
Right,
face it,
right.
I
Cristiano
use
Ronaldo will
I
be
use
that guy
Chelsea,
that everybody targets. After a
correct?
while, you're gonna have to change it up because opposition will figure out what's going on.
Because if you use Chelsea as a good example, right? Chelsea got goals from Reece James,
Mm-hmm.
Thiago Silva, Rudiger, Alonso, Jorginho, Kai Havertz, Mason Mount. Um, like you can't look at Chelsea and be like Lukaku, who they just bought for 100 million, is their main goal scorer. You can't, right? Goals are divided amongst Chelsea. And I'd rather take that instead of like one main goal scorer. Because if that one main goal scorer gets hurt, who's going to fill that void, right?
To be fair,
I
it's
would,
a kind
I
of
would,
slap in the face to Lukaku that the defenders have more goals than him.
I was
Lukaku slaps himself in
listening
the
to,
face. Yo see
Say
that
what
goal he
now?
missed today?
Yeah, I
Lukaku
saw it.
slaps
Yeah.
himself in the face.
Yep, saw it.
That
I was,
was,
Rudiger probably has more goals than Lukaku right now.
I wouldn't agree. I would agree to that. Yeah. Yeah. No, but
Anyway,
I
Chad, you were
understand what you're
saying something?
saying.
I was watching producer Emmanuel before I came on, and he said something very interesting. Somebody asked him about Ronaldo, and he said that Ronaldo is committed to Manchester United for the rest of the season, and then he'll see how things go with the new coach. And I remembered not too long ago, literally like 2 weeks ago, the same producer Emmanuel was saying that Ronaldo was committed for the rest of his contract, which is this season and next season.
Correct.
So clearly, Ronaldo's camp, there's a shift. And I mean, he's not saying a shift away. It's just like, I'm definitely here for the rest of the season. I'm fully committed to getting us into Champions League. And then let's see how things go. And I think Ronaldo, in the back of his mind, is mindful that he doesn't know what the new manager is going to do. And he's keep leaving room in case he doesn't like his part in the vision. He's leaving room, to flex. He also said, Mr. Romano also said that Manchester United is looking for a striker, regardless. Whether Ronaldo stays or Ronaldo goes, we're looking for a proper number 9. That is definitely one of the things Manchester United is looking for. And
I honestly think that's
I
smart.
like that. I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think we need that, regardless.
We have to remember this guy's going to be 38. So we have to look forward. We can't have someone on the wrong end of 30 pushing 40. Not everybody's going to be as Zlatan, but even Zlatan knows he has to kind of slow it down a bit at times.
But I can understand all them post who's come out to retirement around 38 something and now you want to league like so why Ronaldo can do it.
Because that's a midfielder.
Thank you.
Right.
No, but but there's a difference between the prime for a forward, the prime for a midfielder, the prime for a defender, and the prime for a goalkeeper, right? The further back you go into defense, the higher the prime goes, right? That's why goalkeepers can look great at the age of 30, but lo and behold, goalkeepers got another 7 years in them, right?
10 given, depending on their
Yeah.
fitness.
The prime for a
I
forward
just
in my
say Ronaldo have more on the tank. You understand?
if yeah, and
We
he
not
got
saying Ronaldo
Well,
don't
more-
go in the tank.
even he would
The
agree
question
with
is-
that, but at the same time, you have to kind of understand how your body works. Just because you
Yeah,
know you've
it's how
accustomed
much
going
more.
down it. I mean, look at what happened to Zlatan when he came here. He was going strong. That Europa League quarterfinal, snappy tendon.
But ref, you also gotta realize that your mentality might be 23, but your body is saying, my body's 37. Yeah, you may be thinking like a 23-year-old, but you can't run as fast as you were 10 years ago. You trying to push that pace?
All right.
But no, I do agree that Ronaldo has. I would say Ronaldo has a lot more to contribute, but I think there's more in the tank, right? At the end of the day, if you look at certain athletes like your LeBron James, Usain Bolt, those guys are specimen, right? Those
Right.
guys can contribute at the highest level and be longevity in their fields for quite some time, right? Because LeBron James right now is like what 37, and Tom Brady just came out to retirement and he's like what 40. Those guys
Yeah,
can
when
contribute at a certain age and at a certain height of their career as well too, right? Ronaldo is just one of those rare ones, along with Zlatan Ibrahimovic as well too, right? If you go back to the likes of like Xavi and Iniesta, who had to leave Barcelona at the ages of like what 35 and 36. Iniesta was going to Japan or something like that, right?
Yeah, he's still there. I think he's playing for Vissel Kobe, one of those Japanese clubs.
Correct, right? And Ronaldo yesterday, for crying out loud, scoring a hat trick at 37. I can't remember the last time I hear a footballer score a hat trick at that age. So the guy still has something to contribute.
Quagliarella, somebody scored something like 36 or something like that. I can't remember.
Exactly.
Let me just touch on some comments here.
Yeah.
Before we continue, Mark is saying he may not be as agile, but Ronaldo's experience and movement would be an asset to any serious forward coming to the club. I actually think Ronaldo's biggest asset in being in Manchester United's dressing room is not his on the field work, because Ronaldo has slowed down and give you energy boost because he knows his body. But is his preparation, the ice baths after games, the healthy eating, the spending your own money, not just the club physio, but having your own physio, having your own dietitian, having your own chefs,
Yeah.
the level of professionalism in the lifestyle that Ronaldo lives.
That's what you call dedication. That's what you call dedication to what you have.
That could, if he could bring that, not he could bring it, he does it. But if other players look at that and they get into training early, leaving training late, working extra time, as he used to do. I don't know if he still does it on free kicks, on penalties, honing your craft. These are things that Ronaldo could bring, the intangibles that Ronaldo could bring more than anything else.
And Prez, this good.
Let me just touch on two other messages, and then we could move on. Shabakad sent a message earlier on I wanted to read. Is it too early to ask, would Ten Hag do a similar, I guess he means has similar attributes or style like what our previous Dutch coach tried to do? I'm not sure. I'm thinking back to the LVG days, and I don't think LVG football is.
So LVG focused more on a conversion, possession, but also converting a winger to like a forward, right? That's what he did with Iron Robin in the World Cup, and he tried to do it with Angel Di Maria playing behind Van Persie. For us, it didn't work out, so then he had to go back to playing Wayne Rooney there as well too, right? But Ten Hag is also about not only possession but moving the ball fast, right?
Yeah, and let me just touch on Jamal. Jamal was saying he was agreeing with Phil.
Yeah,
so you can't compare a striker to a defensive midfielder.
Deep line playmaker with a striker. Yeah.
And then he was also saying that, using Rooney as an example, as why Rooney, as he got older, dropped deeper back. And then, I remember Dwight York, when Trinidad and Tobago finally qualified for the World Cup. Dwight York was playing CDM. Yeah. And he was a very good CDM, winning back the ball, distributing the ball.
If you watch the 2006 World Cup campaign, he was playing a deeper position. He wasn't playing forward.
And it's one of those things as you get older. But the difference between Cristiano Ronaldo and Rooney and Dwight York is that Rooney and Dwight York would have done whatever it takes, not to just be on the team, but for the team to be successful. Cristiano Ronaldo wants to be a goal scorer. Yeah. Cristiano Ronaldo is not going to be satisfied.
That's ingrained in him from.
Yeah, he's not going to be like John Moutinho, where he could rock back and country. He's not interested in that.
There was another, I just say that there's another Portuguese player who was able to play multiple positions. I think his name was Miguel Veloso. There was one time he would play as a 8, then he'd play as a 6, then he'd play as a 10. He'd even play as center back, left back. I'm like, this guy is versatile. He was willing to do that just to help the benefit of the team.
No, do I think Cristiano Ronaldo, if he sets his mind to it, could be good in Manchester United midfield? Yes. Do I think Cristiano Ronaldo?
I don't see him as a 6 though. I don't see him as a 6.
I'll tell you a good example of a player who is currently a striker that later on in the years they could become a good midfielder, and that's Harry Kane. Harry Kane around the age of 35.
But you see that quality in Harry Kane now. Look at them passes when he dropped into midfield, and he does it both for club and country. England has played with false nines on the either side of Harry Kane, and Harry Kane has dropped into midfield to collect the ball and carry it up. And part of that, I believe, is just to pull the centre backs out of position to give the runners the opportunity, whether it's Sterling or whoever, to get up the pitch. But Harry
I see
Kane will be
that.
a good midfielder.
So Dwight York played CDM for Sunderland as well.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Holy shit! Well, I did not know
Yeah,
that.
he started playing there when he went to Sydney FC in Australia. That's when he really started experimenting with that position.
Yeah, Daily Blind was versatile as well.
Did anybody watch the
Nah,
Ajax
I didn't get to see the game.
PSV
I heard we
final
lost
today?
though. I heard they lost though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
lost
I
2-1.
watched it. I made time to watch it because I want to
Ajax
see what
had
my
2 goals. Ajax got 2 goals ruled offside, right?
Ajax had two very close goals ruled out.
Yeah.
Very, very close. PSV also had 1 goal ruled off or ruled out outside. Very, very close. Ajax had a really good close penalty shout as well. That was not, the referee didn't take it on, so the guy was died. But it was close. It was very, very close. The two takeaways I had from that game is that the fitness level at Manchester United has to go up. That game was intense end
Which
to
is
end.
why.
There was
Which
an
is why.
aggressiveness that both Ajax and PSV had. And Ajax was just, it was non-stop. And I watching these guys and I'm like, if Ten Hag want us just to run that way, we definitely gonna have to work on our fitness.
I got a question now. Do the fitness levels really have to go if we're going to implement 5 substitutions next season?
If you saw the game, Phil, trust me, that
Yes,
level of
please.
intensity,
Yeah.
Manchester United would be gassed. Remember when we played Crystal Palace the first game, first gang and pressing, we tried with when Ralph was there. After
Yeah.
20 minutes after
Yeah, that was it.
They were burnt out.
after 35 minutes in the first half, we were burned.
That was it.
Burn,
Trust
boy.
me, that Ajax
That was
team
it.
and PSV was running. And then
But look at
the next thing I noticed,
What's the average age of that Ajax team though, President Chad?
that's the third thing I was going to talk about was youth in key positions in the defense, key positions on the wing, key positions in the midfield, in key positions attacking. There were really young players. It had more than one under 20 and under player on the pitch. You know what I'm saying? And the confidence that he has in playing youth. You know, he didn't start Holler, and Holler came on in the second half. You know, so I looked at that and I thought, wow, this guy puts a lot of confidence in youth. Let's see what happens when he comes to United. But the other big thing I noticed was how high up the pitch. They like to push high up the pitch. The center backs took turns making runs and they were high up the pitch. And what that means in the Premier League is that you need quick center backs to get back when people play the ball over. You understand? Because the opportunity for a team to break on you is always going to be there when you're that high up the pitch. And you also need a goalkeeper that is prepared to come off of his line as well. So those, I looked at those were the things that stood out to me. The intensity of the football, how much confidence he plays in youth, and how high up the center backs were playing. And they were fit. They were fit. When PSG did get breaks, sometimes you would lose the ball, sometimes the play would break down, sometimes you take a shot, the goalkeeper pass it out quickly, and the center backs got back most of the time. So those are things that United definitely gonna have to work on if we're gonna play Ten Hag ball next season.
So Klopp took his entire first season at Liverpool working on stamina and fitness. Yeah. Instead of touring for preseason, Liverpool were
You install an update on FIFA?
If I install it.
If you install an update for FIFA,
Yeah, it
What's that?
installing now.
What's that?
okay.
I think he's on the phone with somebody.
Alright.
Oh, okay. Yeah, fellas, carry on. Fitness is a major issue at United, according to Mark, for sure. Timber, and he trying to make me tap my tongue.
Gravenberch.
Did at United.
Gravenberch.
I
as much
don't
as
think
I
it's
want-
practical for us to expect Ten Hag to come across with all of Ajax.
Yeah, and from what I understand, Gravenberch is probably on Bayern's radar already. So
Yeah, he and Mazururi going to Bayern like within the next couple of weeks or so. So
I mean,
guess
that's it. Buy everything. So that's my
I mean,
perfect.
Lindelof.
Just ask
I
Borussia
think
Dortmund.
Lindelof has enough speed. I really would like to see what Twansibi does when he comes back, because I think both Twansibi would put both Lindelof and Harry Maguire in his dust. I think Twansibi is faster than both of them. I think Eric Bailly is faster than both of them.
He is faster.
So I think if these guys stick around, they will get some kind of playing time under Ten Hag. I really believe that.
And Varane is no slouch either. We know that.
Varane is no slouch, but I don't know anybody knows. I can't ever remember Varane being out having a lot of pace.
He was
he's
moderate.
not.
He wasn't
he's not
light and
slow.
quick.
He's not slow.
I wouldn't say pace. I would say more. He has a lot of acceleration.
Yeah.
That's the best way to put
Well,
it.
that's good enough.
And
You
plus,
know, you know what I remember. You know, every time I see this Marcus confirming that Gravenberch is going to is heading to Bayern. You know what I think that I always remember when I see Harry Maguire turn and run? You know, they always used to compare things to them old Bedford trucks. It just take a long time to get revved up. When I see Harry Maguire turn and run, you know what he reminds me of? You remember that 7-foot NBA player from China?
Yao Ming.
Yao Ming. You ever saw Yao Ming try to run up the basketball field fast? You know when people run, they just look kind of labored and slow. I'm not making fun of Harry Maguire. I am serious. When I see Harry Maguire turn and run, he looks like he's 7 foot. You know, it's like a tall person laboring. You see him really like.
And the funny thing is, I know somebody who was worse than Harry Maguire when it came to doing that. Mertesacker for Arsenal.
Yeah, Mertesacker boy. Mertesacker's like
the man used to look like you know those oil liners in the sea. You know when they turn, that's how Mertesacker used to look.
Mertesacker, I kid you not, the harbor master could turn faster than Mertesacker. I kid you not, boy. What? Mertesacker is slow, boy.
What is the biggest exposures? Was when they were playing Monaco and the last time they were in the Champions League, which feels like a lifetime ago. I remember somebody put up a post saying there's two things you can see from outer space. They said the Great Wall in China and the gap in Arsenal's defense.
It's true. I see somebody say that we should forget about preseason tour.
Yeah, Jeffrey.
Why though? I don't.
Listen, Jeffrey's just frustrated. Let's just leave Jeffrey down.
I've actually heard other people say that as well. And they're
I don't understand that because
I'm trying to understand the rationale behind.
I don't understand
the rationale that I heard them say is that when the preseason, you know, that forget the preseason and give the coach more time to prepare the players in Ten Hag's system. But to me, preseason games are part of that preparation.
Exactly. That's the perfect preparation for those things.
Preseason is a free hit, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
EPL is not a free hit. You lose a game, you lost 3 points, right? Preseason is like
if you don't get a chance to allow the players to fine tune themselves in Eric Ten Hag's system, then what would be the point? Henceforth, why you need the preseason games?
I would want Jeffrey to like explain why United should forget the preseason tour though.
He just thinks that probably the players here wouldn't fit with Ten Hag's system well, which is why we're hoping that this needed change, this whole culture shock that this club needs happens very quickly.
Jeffrey, write an essay and let us know why you don't want us to have a preseason. We'll read it out.
Yeah, knowing Jeffrey, you're gonna get a whole TED talk.
No, because I'm trying to figure this out. Even if you have this mass exodus of players, they would still need a measure of time to gel or even to understand what.
Especially if you do get the proper incomings.
Exactly. So it's not like a what Real Madrid do. They buy everybody and just throw them on the field and you let them do
whatever you want.
It's not a galactical formula. It really is not a galactical formula. So
and we need to stray away from that formula.
Yeah, I really need to see where Jeffrey's going.
What I really want to see is normally, you know, some of the more established players, they come late. What I want is where they don't allow players to come late. Everybody has, not just the young players who are not playing. Everybody have to come back early to start work under Ten Hag. Not because you're a veteran or whatever, you could come late. Everybody has to come early. All right, Jeffrey has responded. He says, in a situation like this, is because Ten Hag should get time to focus on building the team. Because while the team is out on tour, a new signing, not all the time wouldn't be able to meet up and get with the squad. Work permits has a lot to do with this as well.
A new signing may not be able to meet with the squad, but in my opinion, that new signing would have been playing a preseason before they join United, so they'll be at least fit, right? So let's be real. If we get a player like Ruben Neves, right? In my opinion, it won't take Ruben Neves that long to adjust to one or
No,
team.
not with the kind of
and
intensity
right?
that Wolves display.
Yeah,
I mean, it all
Exactly.
depends on who the players are too. I
Exactly.
think the United players that remain, not the young ones, not like Ilanga and those that are being promoted. I'm talking about the veterans on the team. The United players that remain are the ones that I think are going to be the ones that take longer to adjust than
and here,
anybody else.
and
I
here's
think
my thing.
everybody else would adjust faster than them.
Yeah.
And here's my take on this whole situation too, is that you still need those players who are going to be stuck there. They have to be able to integrate with who else is coming in as well too. This is exactly why you need these preseason games, for everybody to be able to fine tune each other, build their chemistry, actually have a proper team gel. So yeah, okay, you might not think, Jeffrey may not think it makes sense to have a preseason, but knowing that these are factors that we all have to consider is exactly why we need the preseason in the first
But
place.
Remember too, it's not
forget,
like
don't forget 2 years. Don't forget 2 years ago, we as United fans were complaining that certain players didn't have a preseason, or the entire team didn't have a preseason. Right?
Exactly.
Now that we're being presented with a tour of Australia and Thailand, take it. It's four
And,
or 5 games we gotta play.
and my thing is like you forego the preseason for what? Like what you gonna do between May and August?
Correct.
you know what
Yeah.
I think some people think. You remember there was a competition called the ICC?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the National
And
Champions Cup, yeah.
yeah. So this preseason is not that. It is not like we going out there and we trying to win games. Yeah, we playing preseason games. Yes, they will be televised, but it is an opportunity for the coach to play a semi-competitive match. He not trying to win those games. He is working on what he's working on. So I
Yeah.
don't think we need to worry about it this preseason. It's not like if you're going to those kind of competitions, I could understand. This is not the kind of time for the club to be engaged in that. We should be focusing on players fitting into that system.
I am excited to see if Donny van de Beek is going to be integrated into Ten Hag's system.
Talking to the mic a little more, Phil. I ain't hearing you as clearly.
You can hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying that I'm kind of intrigued and interested in see if Ten Hag will include Donny van de Beek into his integrated system, right? Now a lot of people say that Donny van de Beek has not gotten play under the three managers, right? And the three managers are who Ole, Carrick, and Ralph, right? Now, do we really want to count the last two? Because Ralph is here until the end of the season.
Mhm.
Also, Donny van de Beek is on loan to Everton. One. Two, Michael Carrick was just there for 3 games, right?
Yeah.
And then
Filler,
Ole,
basically.
and then Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got fired because of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer things, right?
And mind you, who was the last person to score before he got fired?
What the hell to do with anything?
It's symbolic. The man he doesn't want to use is the man who basically sees out his tenure.
No, I can be straight up. If Eric Ten Hag does not give Donny van de Beek, let's say, 10 games as a starter between the beginning of the season and let's say January, then I would easily give up on Donny van de Beek. It's almost like Mourinho going to a team and Samuel Eto'o is there, and you're not giving Samuel Eto'o a start, right? That's just my opinion.
I refuse.
Didn't that happen at Chelsea though?
But Eto'o was
Yeah,
going on with
it
age.
was
So
Yeah,
Eto'o
but
was
it
old.
was on the way out.
Yeah, fair enough.
I refuse to be critical of any manager that didn't give Donny van der Beek a chance because they would have seen Donny in training. And we like to talk about trust the manager, but all of a sudden we doesn't trust the manager when he don't do what we want him to do. We think Donny van der Beek should have gotten 10 games. That's what we think. I like Donny van der Beek, and I would have liked to see that as well. But I had to trust the manager. And if Ten Hag doesn't play Donny van der Beek, all I'm going to think is there was a reason the other people wasn't playing him. If he does play him and Donny van der Beek becomes a real star and a real producer in this team, I'm still not going to think that the other managers were wrong, because Donny van der Beek is a system player and he will fit into a new system. So I hope Donny gets a chance. I expect him to get a chance. But if he doesn't,
Let's face it, this is someone who's accustomed to the kind of system that Erik ten Hag already has instilled in Ajax already. So in retrospect, if he doesn't fit into Erik ten Hag's plans after all of this, then maybe there just wasn't the right fit for him. Until that happens, the jury's still out.
Somebody said Donny van der Beek was never a starter. Donny van der Beek was a starter at Ajax. It was
I don't know.
It was him and
Donny van
Frankie
der
de
Beek,
Jong.
Donny van der Beek, De Jong, Schlong behind them, and then up top it was like Ziyech,
Tadic.
Tadic, Huntelaar,
Yeah.
and then behind him was De
My
Ligt and Blind.
my opinion on the Van de Beek and the new manager thing is that okay, it's like your classmate becoming your boss, because me and you worked before. That don't mean you're coming here now and I automatically my job's safe. It still doesn't warrant.
It's a bit of a
Any
stretch
sort
there
of-
because he
any
was
sort of
very
automatic-
If you and your classmate used to work well before, and your classmate is seeing how well you used to work, and now your classmate became your boss, you and your classmate already developed that trust. True or not true?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean my job's safe right now. That doesn't mean I automatically going to get
I
promoted.
personally don't believe that Donny van der Beek is a shoo-in. Donny van der
No.
Beek gonna have to come and work. Do I
Exactly.
expect him to
That's
get
what
the
I'm saying.
opportunity?
That's what I'm saying, President.
Yes,
that's what I'm
I
saying,
expect
like-
him to get the opportunity. But all of those people who feel without a doubt Donny definitely in the starting 11.
No,
I'm just going
I
to
would
be
say,
sensitive.
I would say,
I'm
I
just
would-
going to be
I would
sensitive.
say this though: with a new manager coming in, all of these central midfielders are going to have to press the reset button, right? But Donny van der Beek still has the slight edge because he's worked with Erik ten Hag.
Yeah, I could agree with that. Yeah,
right?
I could agree with that.
Yeah.
Another thing too that would work against Van der Beek is who coming in. Who are the midfielders coming in?
Well, yeah, that's another thing you have to take into consideration.
You understand? Who are the midfielders coming in?
All right,
Because-
I got tell you my ideal midfield. If we play with a 6 and 2 8s, it'll be Donny, Bruno, and behind them Ruben Neves. Done with that.
Okay,
Done with that.
no problem with that.
That's my ideal midfield.
I mean, he has until January to make a statement now. I mean, that's the general consensus.
Donny already know that if you don't work under Ten Hag, you won't be picked. Yeah, it's true.
what Jeffrey was saying earlier is that he heard that a number of United players contacted Donny and was asking him, tell us about Ten Hag. And that was the response, that if you don't work hard, Ten Hag won't pick you. And trust me, there are a lot of players that are going to need to put out a lot more effort.
And what I like is
Because-
that Donny has been very professional about this so far. Right?
Yeah, and
Very
and
much
that
so.
has
Very much
built a respect for me from Donny van der Beek.
Very much so.
Even though you're getting support from the fans and people expected Donny to play dirty and say things about Ole or say things about the club and try to force the club hand, Donny has not done that. Donny has been a consummate professional, and I continue to wish Donny well, especially in a United uniform.
Mm-hmm.
But I am still waiting to see what we paid 40 million for, because I haven't seen it yet. For us, or
The
for
board
or for
paid 40
or for
million
Everton.
to shut you all up. That's what the board did. The board paid that money to shut you all up. Because
People
we think
remember
we're
the
a
line.
quality
I
midfielder.
want to say
You
shut
did.
something though, because at the end of the day, yeah, there were a few United fans who were interested in Donny van de Beek, but the person who had the center of attention when in that summer transfer window under Ole was Jack Grealish, right? Everybody wanted Jack Grealish. Everybody thought that Paul Pogba was going to leave, so bring in Jack Grealish as a replacement, right? Paul Pogba didn't leave, Jack Grealish didn't come, so it's like Donny van de Beek. Here you go. And I'm not saying Donny van de Beek is not an unintelligent player, because the guy is,
No,
right?
he isn't. He is not.
He is a very intelligent player, right? But it's just that we had managers that just didn't give him the time to play games. So, and it's kind of similar to Eric Bailly as well too, right? Because yes, there were times Eric Bailly was injured, but there are times that Eric Bailly has spent more time on the bench than in the medic room, right? Eric Bailly and Donny van de Beek would play well in match 1 or match whatever, right? And you know they're on the bench in that game, right? Harry Maguire would play shit in match 1 and be on the starting 11 the next game, right?
True.
So some of these managers were not showing the same energy for certain players that they were showing for other players as well too, right? But giving Donny van de Beek until January.
I mean, at the end of his loan spell, I'd like to have a conversation, but say what?
I know the conversation you want to have, but as we said 5 minutes ago, I'm pressing the reset button on all midfielders when it comes to Erik ten Hag when he's appointed.
I could understand that. I could understand that. I could accept that. I could accept that.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, time will tell. It was a little disappointing that Ten Hag didn't get to lift some silverware today. But I mean,
he still has the Eredivisie to look forward to. So,
well, yeah, I was not going to say that. He will still be lifting silverware at Ajax before the end of the season. So,
I heard this before, and I really had I really needed to slow it down and really understand what people were saying. In that, like, he was giving the updates when was leading at halftime, and everybody was up in arms. Oh, he coming to United with silverware and all of that. And my thing is, what does him winning that cup final going to do for us? Like, he is already here. What is it going to do for us? Like, is it going to give us? If it's going to give us a sense of false hope again, and we're going to build up all these expectations and scenarios in our mind, thinking he's going to come in and boom, and we at the first day in August, silverware.
People forget that Ten Hag already has silverware from Holland with Ajax.
Yeah.
So
I
would have put Donny van de Beek on the wing just to let this person know.
He said on the same side. Doesn't mean that they both be on the wing.
Oh, okay.
But I actually thought that's what he meant.
Yeah.
On the one side passing the ball to each other.
English is a funny language, boy.
So yeah, like I didn't really.
Excuse me, literacy professor.
Yeah. I mean, like, at the end of the day, if Ten Hag wins silverware with Ajax, it doesn't really mean it's just part of his resume. That's all.
Silverware with Ajax, it doesn't really matter.
But this is the thing. No, I could no. In developing that point, would it give us give the fan base, I should say, a boost in confidence to Ten Hag, knowing that he won. Look, he just won a cup final the other day.
Let me
I'm trying to stretch his logic out.
We had Jose Mourinho, who has one of the biggest CVs in Europe.
If the man that was coming was Pochettino,
Van Gaal produced too.
Exactly. So
if the man was coming was Pochettino, would you have been better knowing that Pochettino won the French league or didn't win? Would that make you feel knowing that Pochettino won something before he came versus he didn't do anything before he came? I think
but Chad, let's be honest. You know what a lot of people are going to say? A lot of people are going to say it's the French league. My grandmother could win that with that PSG team.
Well, yeah, now saying Greg, you could close it. You could book a ticket to France now and win the league. You know that. Yeah, so Poch wouldn't anything with that PSG team and then coming to United not going to give me anything. Exactly.
Yeah, Sancho.
And Pochettino came second in a one-horse race. So what does that tell you?
What does that say? Exactly. Exactly. So I really try to understand where people was coming from when they're saying, yeah, Ten Hag gonna win a cup final and then come to United. That means he's the right guy for us. Look, he's a winner already. But him losing that cup final, does that take away any
I
points
would
from him?
more. I would
And
more.
apparently, you see people again on Twitter saying that oh, it's the Manchester United curse. He's linked with Manchester United and he lost the cup final.
I would more.
Exactly,
I would
exactly.
more get
Like
excited. I would more get excited not because of a manager winning a trophy, but a player who led a team to win the trophy. I would get more excited about that per se instead of a
okay.
manager, right? So, but no, as somebody said in the comments, Ten Hag's football is very attractive, and he plays and he needs the right players, right? And it's true, very very true.
If you give him the proper tools to put in system in place, he will thrive.
And
But then again, too,
I do not expect Ten Hag to get the right players in just one window, two
Of course
windows.
not.
one.
By two windows, I mean two summer transfer windows, not a summer and a winter. Summer 2022 and summer
Yeah.
2023 as well too.
People
but-
gotta
but-
remember this January transfer window is going to be hectic, because you
Yeah.
know what happens after a World Cup. All the new
God.
shiny toys that rise to the surface are going to be coming out, and a lot this January transfer window. Well, I
Have
should
we-
say next
Have we
year's
ever had
January is
luck?
going to be
Have we
hectic.
ever had luck signing somebody good from a World Cup? Because let's be real, Barthez.
Bro,
No,
I'm
but-
not
yeah,
talking about. I agree, I'm not saying when I say the transfer window would be busy in January. I'm not talking about United, I'm talking about just the window on the whole.
I would like us,
After a World Cup.
like us to be busy in January though.
Yeah, after a World Cup. Every time there's a major competition, there's always a hectic transfer window.
Because
everybody-
up to now, Alexander Isak and Jeremy Doku, two of the hottest youngsters in the last Euros, nobody ain't picked them up as yet.
I think they wanted to give Doku another year before they moved him on because he was still kind of a raw talent. He just burst onto the scene in the Euros, so opportunity to kind of acclimatize himself and really show that it wasn't just a fluke thing with him in Belgium.
But even like, let's go back to when we saying like Cleberson, right?
God!
Cleberson was dubbed to be better than Ronaldinho. That's how great Cleberson was, right?
Nah. They gassed that up way too much. Cleberson barely even got games in the World Cup.
Yeah,
How are you gonna be better than Ronaldinho? You didn't even start.
I mean,
World
don't
Cup.
get me wrong, Barthez was a bad buy.
And Barthez was France's starting goalkeeper when they won it in '98.
Yeah,
But we're saying Barthez
That was
after the
after
Euros,
Euros.
no?
After Euros.
Yeah, but they won Euros that year too.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only Euros actually.
but I think the worst buys would have been in recent times would have been James Rodriguez by Real Madrid.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, that didn't work.
The
That
money they spent for Hamish after that World Cup,
Yeah, boy.
I
That,
feel
the one
for him
goal.
to impress.
that has to be one of the
One
worst
goal,
plays
one good
ever
goal.
after a World Cup, boy. Boy, yeah. That's
One
so
good
true.
goal.
I think he was even worse than Barthez. Barthez wasn't as bad as he was.
But we
Where Hamas is
we-
right now?
Barthez retired. I think
That's
he's in Formula
James
1 or
Rodriguez
something
in-
like that.
I think he's in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, yeah.
So the guy went from Porto, Real Madrid, loaned to Bayern, came back to
Everton.
Went to Everton.
He came to Everton.
Everton. Boy, that guy's career has gone spiral downwards, boy. Good lord.
It kind of reminds me of Rafael van der Vaart.
Boy, he was one of my
Boy,
favorite.
I
he
had
was one of my
love
favorite players,
Rafael van
boy.
der Vaart on
He was one of my
FIFA. That
favorite
man
players,
used to
boy.
score
Yeah, but he
some
was a hot mess. He was a hot mess.
I remember,
Left Ajax, went to
always
Hamburg,
remember.
was bought by Real Madrid, then went back to Hamburg, then got loaned to Tottenham, then he went to Real Betis. I think that now he's retired now and he's a miserable pundit.
It's true.
Real Madrid quoted us 30 million for Van der Vaart. I say, all right, no problem. But these same men want to quote Tottenham 11 million. And I say, well, boy.
Manchester United tax.
Let me tell you something.
Well,
You
well,
see,
well.
Real Madrid and Bayern Munich are two European clubs that never give Manchester United a good deal. Whatever they tell Manchester United is bad.
Yeah.
You remember? Look, you not even that long ago. Remember this
Morata.
guy Morata?
Yeah,
Yep.
we were going to pay them the 75 million.
They
Then Perez said
dragging us
90.
over the coals for Morata, and then they end up selling him to Chelsea 1 week later
Yeah.
for less.
For the money that they initially quoted us for.
But we didn't get Lukaku that same season.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
And I laughed at every Chelsea fan's face because
The
they said
only
they
the only transaction that Bayern Munich probably regrets right now is Tony Cruz. And that's about it.
yeah, that's probably about it.
Tony Cruz ever go and change his football boots? That man playing in the same football boots from since 2005 or some kind of nonsense. So.
That's
Hey,
that's
Always in
that,
an
that's a
if it
midfielder.
Hey,
That's a
ref,
midfielder for
if
you.
it ain't broke, don't
That's
fix it.
that's a midfielder for you. Paul Scholes did it. Francesco Totti did it. That's just a midfielder for you. You're just playing the same boots until
Postcodes change when postcodes change from T90 laser.
Yeah,
Paul
but
Postcodes
he
changes.
Scholes went.
he said
Paul
he
Scholes
said
went
to
to a
himself, he
Paul
went to
Scholes
a
went,
shop, yeah, and just
yeah.
bought
Paul
it out
Scholes
of the
came out
store,
of
and he was like,
retirement, went
yeah,
to a shop
to
and
hell
bought
with the
boots and
boots.
played.
Yeah, to hell with what the club have.
Francesco Totti was playing the same black Diodors for God knows how long at Roma.
Actually, Totti switched between
So,
Diadora and
yeah,
Nike a couple of times.
yeah. At Tiempo Legend.
Yeah,
Tiempo
There's
Legend
a
as well. Yeah.
yeah. There's a limited edition Tiempo Legend with his
with the
signature on the
foldover
back
tongue.
of it. Yeah.
There's a foldover tongue. That time when Nike no cut out the foldover tongues, he had one.
You fellas had to remember, man, like Tony Cruz. When
Boots
you see
are
men
nothing.
changing boots all the time, is normally because of sponsorship deals. You know?
Yeah.
He probably
Boots are
had
nothing to them.
the same shoe sponsor for all of these years, so we changed the shoes for.
Cruz is Adidas,
You go
man.
back in the
Cruz
day,
is
I mean, like
sponsored by
Pele was
Adidas.
playing barefoot in the streets.
It's
You
not
telling me?
it's not like Pogba and these fellas who, you know, every 2
Cruz
years
is an Adidas man,
a new
Cruz is
version.
on Adidas payroll.
Okay.
And he just never switch. He just never
Because he like what he like.
Yeah, but
Hey,
don't forget where Adidas is from as well too.
Germany.
It's true.
Correct.
It's true.
People remember to like and subscribe if you haven't done that to the video as yet, and to the channel. Thanks for your support in doing that. I don't know. I it was nice watching Ajax football. And one of the things that upset me low key, I don't mean upset like I'm really upset, but when I watch City and Liverpool play, not in the FA Cup. The FA Cup was trash. But when I watch City and Liverpool play in the week, when I watch PSV and Ajax play, when I watch teams play, when I watch City play Chelsea play Real Madrid in Champions League, and I watch Manchester United play football, it is really make you ask yourself, what the hell going on Manchester United, bro? Why we just look so bad?
Too much dead weight.
But but whoever, like I said, whoever comes in has to perform a surgery on the team. They got to, right? This is no root canal nor no filling. This is a damn surgery.
This is a triple bypass. This is a heart transplant. This is a gastric bypass. This is all kinds of procedures. You know, it's almost like creating a Frankenstein.
And Ten Hag has to have the 11 resources to play the philosophy that he wants, right? I can take the first 10 games as 5 losses and 5 draws to sacrifice for us winning silverware for the next 5 years. I can take that.
Oh, okay. Context. Gotcha.
Yeah, I can take that. If we go the first 10 games, 5 losses, 5 draws, and then from game 11 to game 38 until the year 2027, we just in the top 2. We're in the Champions League final every other year. I can take that.
Short-term pain for long-term progress.
Correct.
I mean, if it's one thing, Arsenal really show you what is possible. I mean, who thought Arteta would have still been in charge of Arsenal after the first 3 games of the season?
True.
You know, I mean, they were rock bottom, 0 points.
To be fair, it's a very hard task to win against Man City and Chelsea. Right now, Brentford was a surprise, but Chelsea Champions League winners and Liverpool and Man City EPL winners, it was a very hard task. But these last 3 games, Brighton, Southampton, and Crystal Palace, there's no excuse. And it also shows that you need depth because Thomas Partey's out, Kieran Tierney's out, and they got Lokonga and Tavares playing left back and central midfield, and those guys ain't cutting it. Right.
This is typical Arsenal. Earlier in the season, when Arsenal now catch the stride and was winning games back to back, everybody's like, "Oh God, Arsenal coming on!" Like, oh, they're coming down to the end. Arsenal is going to dive off the precipice, going to Maracas Beach.
Nosedive.
That is what they do it every year.
And
There was
I don't
one
know.
time
I don't know where's Spurs' excuse, but I expect Spurs to be doing exactly what they're doing now. They're
yeah,
gonna beat some teams real bad. They could score 5 again before the end of the season, and then they would just lose games that you expect them to win. Now, are they going to lose enough for us to pip them? I don't know, but I expect that inconsistency from Spurs.
I'm saying you've been watching Ajax since over Mars. Damn, okay.
okay,
Wow, that's a long time.
yeah,
Yeah.
right, Bob.
I mean, when Overmars was playing, someone we were still in primary school. You know?
Over Mars was there with like Van der Sar and Edgar Davies, right?
Yeah, that was like 94, 95, around those years.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
I used to follow Ajax, but I never used to watch them. I remember the original Ronaldo. Brazilian
that's PSV though.
Ronaldo
That's
playing
PSV.
there.
PSV.
Is
PSV
PSV
Ronaldo.
came from?
Yeah, Ronaldo was playing for PSV.
Oh, yeah,
Ronaldo
sorry.
and Romario played for PSV.
Ajax was like
Yes.
Clarence Theodore, Van der Sar,
Bergkamp.
Bergkamp, Cruyff,
Kluivert.
Mars, Kluivert.
Clivert, oh my
Yeah, boy.
gosh.
Right,
Yeah.
Rijkaard coming down to the end of his playing career.
Ajax had a
The De Boer
bomb.
brothers.
Ajax had a bomb squad in the 90s, boy.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, well, people forget Ajax.
Daley
win
Blind's father,
Champions League
Danny
and
Blind,
thing
used to play
already.
for them too. I think he was the captain as well when they won
Yeah.
Champions League.
Ajax was the team.
Kanu was
Talking
Liverpool.
about-
Holy shit.
Alan is saying Clivert to
Oh yes,
Mm.
Yari Littman.
Yari Littman, boy.
Mhm.
Shit, man. Rolling back the
Kanu.
years, boy.
Yeah,
Kanu.
I mean, I remember the Champions League final when they played Juventus. That was like 90s. That was 1996. I remember Juventus literally isolated Yari Littman on the whole game because they knew he was the danger man. He was linking the forward line. That was one of the most difficult finals I ever saw.
That's two places Arsene Wenger used to shot, boy. Eredivisie and French League, boy.
No, well, yeah, he knew to pick a Frenchman up quick, because I mean, you saw the French Revolution. He pretty much brought the Arsenal.
Basically.
talking about Champions League and you all anybody else excited about the possibility?
So I switched my position on who I actually want to win the Champions League. I actually want Real Madrid to win the Champions League. I don't want no Liverpool or Man City doing no quadruple or no trouble. Real Madrid win the Champions League. Man City can never have a Champions League. Liverpool cannot do no damn quadruple. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Who are they playing in the semis? Is Villarreal.
Yes.
Okay, Villarreal for the upset.
If Villarreal beat Liverpool, then good, man. But other than that,
If Villarreal beat Liverpool, Villarreal for Champions League. I say that live.
Bro, the absolute meltdown from Arsenal fans. If Emery goes on to win Europa League and CL, no self-Arteta get fired.
That is why Villarreal, if they beat Liverpool,
getting fired. And
Can you imagine Unai Emery winning the Champions League?
I remember somebody posted that. They said, like, just if you feeling bad, just remember Arsenal sacked Unai Emery for Mikel Arteta.
Yeah, boy.
Awkward.
The biggest hit right now is what or how we set up against Liverpool game on boy. I am not looking forward to that game.
all right. Hey, who's this, Shabaka? Let me just take a little drink for that, boy.
Biggest thing right now is
I'm not looking forward to that game though. I'm looking forward to Arsenal versus Chelsea more than our game.
we just need to make sure Chelsea does their job just to make sure that Arsenal don't get any points on us. That's all I can do.
I would take a 1-0 loss right now to Liverpool. A 1-0 loss. I would take that.
Any day.
That's not bad, actually.
Of course, compared to what we got at Old Trafford.
Exactly. That's not bad. I read it.
I have nightmares about that game still. Jesus.
Just keep Harry.
Keep Harry away from the lineup on Tuesday. Yes.
You're sure if we have the other fit defenders for that game, boy?
You know that happening.
Speaking of which, anybody knows the updates on Rafael Varane?
No, still injured.
Wow.
I honestly feel there is parts of his contract where he could pick and choose what games he played. Because
something.
No, he is missing crucial games, key games.
Every game is a crucial game right now.
He wasn't.
Because Norwich is not in the context of who Norwich is not a crucial game.
Yeah, but
Even before the stage of the season, Chad, Prezi, in like November, December time, like where are you? Why are you
yeah,
not
because
playing? You're
he wasn't
injured.
available
Like
for the Liverpool game. He wasn't available for the City game. He wasn't available for the Chelsea game.
he
I was
picks. I
talking
think he picks
about
and
being
he don't give a shit.
excited about seeing a team in the Champions League and all of this other talk about present teams. I wasn't talking about them. Man. The team I was excited about is Nottingham Forest coming back, possibly coming back into the Premier League next season. When last has
Hey,
Nottingham Forest
First
been in the
time
league?
since 1999.
hey,
Since 1999, these guys have
big
not been
team
in the
for us,
Champions
boy.
League since I did common entrance.
I mean, right now they're in the playoff. They're in the playoff segment, so it's not guaranteed. But just
True.
the thought, I would really like Nottingham Forest to get promoted.
Yeah. For the game, for the game.
I am going to ask Arsenal fans when that fixture comes, who's the bigger team?
Who's that?
I got ask Arsenal fans when the fixture Nottingham Forest, who's the bigger team?
Phil.
I'll tell them just go by recent memory. Who are the better results?
I got ask them who's the bigger team, man. I'm gonna say
No,
Rafael
Phil, don't do
Varane.
that. Don't do that, Phil.
I'm gonna say Rafael Varane was never the same since he had dinner with with Jones and Bay.
Gosh, Corey, come down from dinner, man, Corey. Come down from dinner, man, Corey.
Mr. Martin Phillip.
Why can't United not win the next two games?
Um,
We struggle. We struggle versus Norwich.
Martin,
We lost
Martin,
versus
check
Everton.
check the fixture list of the first game and then get back to me.
Martin, you are realize that Manchester United Football Club are levels below the likes of Liverpool and Man City, you know, right? And that's the reality of it, right? Ten Hag by 2024, if he does implement his right philosophy and gets the right players, we could be very close. We'll close the gap between us and Liverpool and Chelsea, right? And Klopp leaving and Pep Guardiola leaving, we have a better chance to take over them in the further future. Know that those two guys are left, right? And by that time, Salah won't be there. De Bruyne won't be at City. So
Okay,
right
we're
now,
not so sure about De Bruyne not being at City.
well, De Bruyne is what 32 now,
Yeah.
right? So
So Phil, what
that's
you
all?
saying is so Phil, what you saying is chess over checkers.
so in an ideal scenario, right? By let's say 2024, 2025, right? Klopp would have gone, Pep would have gone, no more Mane, no more Salah. Virgil van Dijk would have gone as well, too, right? So Liverpool and Man City will be looking.
Read Jeffrey message there.
Imagine if we park the bus and score a last minute goal. Boy, Jeffrey, I will ship a bottle of wine to you. I will tell you that.
And Martin's response to us is David did beat Goliath.
Just because today is Easter, that don't mean you gotta quote biblical stuff, right? But at the end of the day, we know this guy said LA fakers.
Oh wow! So what you playing on Kanye West there, way?
What's
Ready
up
for the
with
thing now, man? Oh gosh!
If we beat, I saw Inter Milan beat Liverpool in the Champions League, right? At home. What with the music?
This is my part. Yeah, this is right.
Oh,
we could do it without copyright issues.
Oh yeah, that shit.
True. Now, if we beat Liverpool 1-0,
That would basically be the shock of the season for a lot of people.
What?
Like, nobody would expect that.
Manchester United beating Liverpool.
You see,
If that
when
would be
you
the shock of the season again.
we beat Liverpool 1-0. I subbing 3 guys and putting on Bailly Jones and some of the idiot to defend.
Ooh, gentlemen, an hour has gone already, you know. You believe that? It feel like we're here for half an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah,
1 hour, 4 minutes, and 22 seconds to be
But
precise.
I know how to go when you're in the virtual bar. You understand?
Yeah.
The only place on YouTube that you could come to a virtual bar. United Hour. Ole Talk.
David beat
Phil,
Goliath.
next round is yours, Phil.
Say that again.
Phil, any next round guys? Phil, by any next rounds?
Yeah, for sure. Still got some left. Still got some left. Yeah, you know.
Well, is anything on your chest you want to let off Last segment.
Boy, I just want us as a fan base to really be accepting of our current reality. And that is it. It's a tall order, but just recognize where we are at as a club right now. Just recognize it. You don't need to agree with it. You can still hold on to your to whatever ideology you want to subscribe to, but just for one moment, be like, yeah, here is where we are right now. That is what I want.
And give the new manager time.
Yeah, because
we gotta be realistic.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go to that word Prezi because reality is subjective. But there is a universal constant, especially on this physical level of existence that you cannot deny.
Be careful, you know, a little bit again, you start a song like Kamala Harris.
Yay! Good night, folks.
All them big words.
My cut off. You can't remember that one.
So there's my take, right? Everybody can say give the new manager time, right? And it's easy to say it right now. And I'm going to give him time. I can't speak for anybody else, right? But you're still in tune with the other results that are around you, right? So let's say first game of the season, United lose, Chelsea win, Arsenal win, Liverpool win. That could get to you somehow, right? But I know, like I just said about 10 minutes ago, I'm willing to sacrifice 10 games of 5 losses and 5 draws for us being winners in the next 3 to 4 years, right? So, Anson McCall, I ain't heard that name in so long, boy.
It's a good thing we coming to the end of the program. I had to go and get some more ice.
All I'm gonna say is this.
Greg,
This is my last drink of the day, boy.
All I'm gonna say is this: that recognition isn't necessarily acceptance. You can recognize the position that you're in, but it doesn't mean that you have to accept that you're going to be there. So it's a matter of understanding where you are, assessing, and beginning the necessary process to rectify that. And I think it's high time that Manchester United allow the necessary people to make the right decisions that are beneficial to this team, to this club overall. Stop allowing the businessmen to get involved in the on-field situations and the on-field decisions. Leave that for Ten Hag. Leave that for Ralph. Leave that for whoever else is in charge of running football affairs.
Gregory preaching, boy. We had to clip this.
I think I share the sentiments of a lot of United fans on a worldwide scale. We have been crippled ever since Ed Woodward made that fateful statement. We can do things in the market that other teams can't. Since then, that has been a potential invitation for other teams to blackball us in the market. That has to stop.
Our wage bill has skyrocketed, and our production has.
We are suffering the consequences of the ineptitude of people who are involved in overtaking decisions that do not concern them.
I think most United fans still think we have AIG and Vodafone as our sponsors. You know, we got Team Viewer.
David Hill is not there anymore. We need to recognize that.
We got Team Viewer, buddy. Team Viewer. I also want to acknowledge PSG for putting Cristiano Ronaldo on their sleeve. Okay?
They're sponsored by something called GOAT.
Yeah. Thank you for using Cristiano Ronaldo as your sponsor. Now Lionel Messi will wear Cristiano Ronaldo on the sleeve of his shirt. I love it. I love it.
About that, you know, I wanted to bring up on the program. I don't know how true it is. I mean, I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's whatever. But this whole thing about Messi unfriending Garnacho because he said that he posted a picture with him and Ronaldo and said "goat."
Well, apparently that post from Garnacho gave Aguero a heart attack.
But if that is true, that Messi and other Argentinian players are digging horrors at Garnacho post with Ronaldo, that's real pettiness. I'm sorry.
We're going on. Tell
Let's
Ghana to
see
switch
hot
nationality and go play for another country.
week,
Get them on crap.
a hot bake. That what Messi is. A hot bake from
Nah,
a player one.
you got to see what ESPN said. I'm gonna share my screen for a little bit.
Action.
Share screen.
DJ Inferno is saying if we don't get the next 2 transfer windows correct with sales and purchases, we'll see us slip further down the football ladder. When you look
going into
at
the twilight
Newcastle,
You can see my screen. You can see my screen, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
when you look at Newcastle coming up, what
This part-
Inferno is saying there is
You see what ESPN did? Argentinian
Zoom it. There's zoom now.
Alejandro Garnacho has chosen his goat.
Alejandro Garnacho has chosen his goal. ESPN of all, my gosh.
If brown nosing was a sports page, that's all I have to say. If brown nosing was a sports page,
I watch me. That alone should make Rav decide to play this youth man before the end of the season. That alone should get him a start. Just that post.
you're like, you know what? Tell us, hold our bench. Ali, yep, you're starting.
I want, as a fan of Rashford, to leave Man United. I press the reset button on Marcus Rashford as well too.
That is
Bro,
another
I
thing
don't
that
know,
depends on the conversation that he has with Eric
Watch
Ten
me.
Hag.
I don't know, you know. I don't know.
I can press the reset button.
I was given Marcus Rashford 2 weeks ago. Anybody came to me and talk about Marcus Rashford, I was like, watch me, leave Marcus alone. His man's true and true. Leave Marcus. But you see, after that performance yesterday, when you come off the bench, after watching Ilanga run his heart out, start on the right wing, end up at right back, and didn't put a foot wrong whole game, and you can't make a 5-yard pass, every single thing Rashford did when he came on was horrible. Everything. Every run he make, he lose the ball. Every pass he make, he underpass the pass. Something is either psychologically wrong with Marcus Rashford or he is not a footballer anymore. I don't know, like somebody switched and got into Marcus Rashford.
The only player I'm not going to press the reset button is Tony Martial, honestly. I've kind of given up on him.
I think he got injured today now to bring him up. He got injured today versus Madrid.
He was playing against Sevilla. He was playing against Sevilla against Real Madrid.
Yeah, he got injured.
Oh, he got injured during the game?
Yeah.
Wow. Right.
Man, don't bring QPR. I hate QPR is the most hated club in my life. I hate QPR with a passion, boy.
Just to touch on Rashford one more time.
The City victory.
If PSG come from Marcus Rashford with any kind of money over 80 million, I was selling it. I telling you right now.
It's kind of hard money to turn down. You're looking at 80 million for one of your players. I mean, who wouldn't take that money?
If he was playing 20% of the Rashford we know, I would easily turn down 80. I would turn down 120. I would press the reset and say, let the new manager take a look at him. But the way he playing right now, could you imagine if he's worse next season? You know, saying he press the reset is one thing, but could you just imagine if we press the reset and Rashford is worse next season than what we've seen so far?
We can say that about a lot of players in this team, Chad.
Does Marcus Rashford really bring value to a team outside of England?
PSG think so. They're looking for another flag boy.
Even Barcelona at one point were looking at him. But then they got Aubameyang.
I heard on Freddie Red was retiring and they're looking for somebody to replace him. I mean, you might as well do some internal hiring. And
I thought Lingard was going to take that job.
Nah. He's staying in West Ham.
Oh, so he's going to be the Hammer mascot.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. I pressed in the reset button on Marcus Rashford. There's still some sort of talent inside there.
I don't say no to that. I don't say no to that, but
I don't want us 5 years from now compare Marcus Rashford to like a Stuart Downing or Theo Walcott. I still want him to be like compared to
even on Danny Welbeck.
Or Danny Welbeck. I still want him to be like in the same sentence as like a Kylian Mbappe, right? So
but that's not to us. That is up to Marcus Rashford and his performances.
Very true.
Yeah. So, but I pressing the reset. I'm willing to press the reset button on Harry Maguire as well too. I'm willing.
We need to clip that.
I am
We
willing
need to
to
clip
give Harry a chance because after watching Ajax play today, I think the new coach is going to deal with Harry sooner rather than later.
If Harry Maguire can be like a bully in the air, like you put the ball in the air, anything that plays direct football, and you try to play it towards a striker, Harry Maguire winning it 90% of the time, I can
You see the
take
size
that.
of that head?
I can take that. With the size of that head, Harry Maguire should be scoring 10 goals a season. 10 goals.
Correct is right.
I mean,
10
he's supposed to be
goals.
giving opposition strikers concussions, not just that.
Correct. I remember man like John Terry back in the
Corey!
days. He don't care.
Yo, come down from. I thought I was bad. Come down from there, brother. Come down from there, brother, man.
That's
Come
uncalled for,
down.
man. Aguero
down.
is going through.
I
Aguero has a
will,
heart.
I will personally message that DJ Inferno and talk to him. Nah, that was a violation. That was a violation.
That
people.
violation.
Ken,
Press that like button if you agree with
Ken,
Corey.
I take one for you, Ken. Ken, this is right there.
Darren, you see where you start? Huh? You see where you start?
Make sure and subscribe to the channel. And remember, Red Devils, we don't die.
Yeah, we done already?
Yeah, I mean, it's time
Bro,
to go.
what else you want to talk about?
Last call.
Last call, yeah. That was what I was thinking.
Ah.
Oh, man.
Hey, if you appreciate what we're doing here at the United Hour, please like, please subscribe, and let's grow this community.